All right, y'all. You see these countries? These are Semitic countries. See how they're all in Africa and just a little bit in Saudi Arabia? This is a representation of Israel. Show me the Semitic lands and the Semitic people and being anti-Semitic, where this pale-skinned people come from inside of Semitic lands. Where's this guy's family and ancestry date to inside of these Semitic lands if he's a Semitic person? Do you understand and see the problem there? All Semitic countries are inside of Africa. There is no people other than black people that can claim an origination, an ancestral, genetic tie connection to Africa other than black people. There's no pale people that can claim any ancestry anywhere inside of Africa at all. These people do not come from Africa. These people do not come from Saudi Arabia even. So don't try to explain, oh, it's outside of Africa. No, they do not come from that area. Look at this guy. He's got blue eyes. He looks like a what? A German. You couldn't tell him apart from another European grandfather. Why? Because he's European. European. They're liars and thieves. They've taken the name of the original people, lied about it for so long. It's an imperial tactic. You can research imperial tactics of lying, oppressing, taking over people's name so that they can take over the legacy, right? It's exactly what they did. And we can research this. I'm going to go deeper into it with the Khazars and the Europeans that all the Europeans deny happened, but their conversion that's documented all throughout history, right? We're going to go over it because it's time these people, the world learns and needs to know this is not a Semitic person. Semitic means black African. Black African. You cannot be anti-Semitic when talking about pale people. It's a misnomer, and they have the whole world talking about that. Anti-Semitic, anti-Semitic. When you're not dealing with the facts of Semitic countries are African. Is this guy African? Come on. Thank you. Peace. I was going to end it there, but I'm not done because there's always some people that look like this in the comments that are, well, oh, it's our language and we've been practicing the culture for... It doesn't matter. That's part of the pale-skinned people takeover techniques and tactics. Why they want to list us as language groups and ethnicities. Two things that anyone on earth can learn. I can learn your language. I can learn your ethnicity, which is the practices of your culture. That doesn't mean I'm one of you. That doesn't mean I'm the original members of that culture. It just means I'm now practicing it. That's why they want to use ethnicity rather than race or genetics, because that would tell on them. That would point it out that they're lying, that they're deceiving the entire world about who the actual Semitic people is. We can even take it, we don't even have to use world history and linguistics like I am using, because another point is they don't even understand the language. All Semitic languages, Hebrew, Akkadian, Aramaic, Arabic, all of them were created by black Africans. And the reason why, and the proof is these outsiders think the vowels are left out, right? And the reason why they think the vowels are left out of the written Semitic languages is because they didn't create them. It's not theirs. They have no idea. They are outsiders. Only black Africans like me know and understand why we created the languages that way with the triconsonantal clusters, with the three consonant clusters. Why all Semitic languages are created that way. And the reason they're created that way proves that it comes from black Africans. Black Africans created all Semitic languages. Not some, not half, not the later. All Semitic languages. Because black Africans are the real Semitic people. As we can see, and we've gone over already, Semitic countries are inside of Africa, right? And the Middle East. You think black people populated all of Africa but didn't go right there to the Middle East? Come on. If you want to research it, look up the Natufians. There's from the National Library of Science. You can pull it up online, but they go into deep details and they show you the genetics and the research of the Natufians going back 12 to 15,000 years in the Levant and how they're black Africans. Nobody beat them to the Levant. Nobody beat black Africans. Actually, anywhere on Earth, but that's another topic for another story because we can go back millions of years, black people, and pale skin has only been on Earth since after the last glacial maximum. So they haven't even been here for a full procession of equinoxes yet. And we're millions of years old. Go ahead and look up the Turkana boy, 1.5 and 1.6 million years old, and still looks like the modern day Twa Africans that are still in Africa today. Same structure, same size, same body shape, same everything. It's the same everything. So go ahead and look that up. 1.5 to 1.6 million years old. Yes, it's classified as Homo erectus, and they now classified as Homo ergaster to try to confuse people and stuff like that. But we know the truth. These are our ancestors, where it come from. Africa, millions of years old. These people try to come in and what's called usurp, right? And take over through lies, deception, deceit. And because the actual people were actually in the diaspora, these people just showed up and be like, oh, we're the returned people. We're just going to use the story to go along with it so we can fool the world and fool people. But they're the synagogue of Satan. We've got to out them. We've got to tell the truth about these pale people. These are in Israel. They don't even have any Mizrahi that have ever been prime ministers. They don't even have any Sephardic that have ever been prime minister. It's only been pale-skinned Europeans that have been prime minister since the beginning of Israel, since 1947, 48. They've only been Russian, Polish, or German. Go look it up. I got the list. I'm going to post it for you. Actually, I have all of them from the beginning, David Ben-Gurion to David Ben-Gurion, Netanyahu, all of them. That Netanyahu's actual last name is Milikowski. All right? Milikowski. He's a Slav. All right? He's Slavic. He's not Semitic. But they want to ignore all the genetics. That's why they don't allow genetics tests in Israel. It's because they would be kicked out. All of these pale people would be kicked out and be told they're converts. They're not the actual Judeans. There were no people back in Judea right here next to Africa 2,000 years ago that were this pale, that left 2,000 years ago and came back 2,000 years ago. Even after the president of Egypt said that the Jews left black and came back like this. So, I mean, there's so much proof. There's so much. They don't understand the language. They think the vowels are left out. The proof of that is shows that the connection of the black African languages. They're not Semitic people. Even if we want to take the religious route, even in their own religious story, in their own religious book, in their own holy doctrine, they're Ashkenaz, right? Ashkenazi, right? Okay, so look. So even in the biblical story, the line of Semitic people was the line of Shem. That's where that term and word comes from. Sem comes from Shem. Semitic, Shemitic. It's the same line. It's the line of Shem. Right? That's the lands that were given. You can go back to the Torah, Talmud, Bible, and look, it was the lands given were in the Semitic areas, right? Now, if you look at the brother of Shem, Japhet, his territory was all in Europe, right? Okay. Japhet had a son named Gad. Gomar. Gomar had a son named what? Ashkenaz. In Europe. So they're not even Semitic in their own biblical story, in their own story. You can use their own religion and their own book to show and prove to them that they're not even the Semitic people. So there's all this proof, all these reasons. We have to get these pale-skinned people out of Israel. We have to. Peace.